And Walter will be out a little later, but first, why not? Here's Jack Lemmon. Yeah.
Hi there.
Hello, Jack.
How are you?
Understand you were out with our producer last night, or amongst him with Mr. DeCordova?
He said that I had to wear the same suit, and I had the thing pressed this morning. Oh, Lord. I just got back from New York, and I've got pneumonia.
Somebody told me it is really,
It's very cool.
You don't put your tongue on the pump handle back there.
No, you don't. Where is it? Put it.
Do you ever remember when you were a kid, and you'd go out, and your mother would say, and you'd see something, they'd say, never put your tongue on anything metal.
Yeah.
And you couldn't resist. And you'd go over, and they'd have to come and pull you off of this thing. Where's home for you originally? I forgot.
Originally, Boston.
Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, did they have snow.
Yeah.
I mentioned this last night. You see what the poor mayor of Boston said the day before yesterday? They had a big snow. And because of all the cutbacks, I guess, that have happened, he said the city of Boston has used up their entire budget for snow removal last week. And that was the first snow of the season. Boston's a great place to be during the holidays, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's one of the few major cities, really, I think, that has kept enough of its tradition and the marvelous places that were, you know, at least when I was a kid, about 180 years ago.
Come on now. I mean, historically. Yeah, they've kept it.
They really have.
But out here, I find in California, it's a little tough for me to get into the Christmas spirit because, you know, you equate it with snow, you equate it with cold weather and so forth. Yeah. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever go back home?
John, I want to tell you something. I not only think about it, is the show going to continue this way? I mean, is this what we're going to...
Our childhood? Were you dozing off there, Jack? Okay.
No. Wonderful to see.
No, you're absolutely right. That was just a little kind of get acquainted, and we didn't really need that.
How's your wife? She's a lot cuter
fine.
than you are.
How's your wife?
You know,
looking
she's
good?
terrific, except she's sick in bed like I am.
Well, it's nice of you to come with all of this. Did you
are you kidding? I wouldn't miss it.
Okay, this is really moving along now. I keep... this will catch fire in a moment. You were out late. The man's got the flu, and he was out late last night, and you probably had a couple.
No,
and,
no. No. Freddie did. I wouldn't.
He said the same thing about you a moment ago.
He did?
Yeah.
Well, everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's both our wives, is what it is.
Yeah. We have both been known in our days, not as much as we used to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you can't really, you know, as an actor, you have to experience things. You can't just do things without knowing.
In other words, when you had to do for Days of Wine and Roses.
Drove me to drink.
Actually had to go out and... You know, I saw, I don't mean just because you're here to compliment you, but I saw they were doing a retrospective of some films the other night, and they had one of the scenes was yours from Days of Wine and Roses, and then they went completely opposite that and played Mr. Roberts. And it was a wonderful contrast, that one very heavy role, and then all of a sudden you were playing Ensign Pulver. And I got hysterical all over again. That's got to be one of your favorite pictures of all time.
Oh,
it
is to me.
Of course. Yeah.
Because I'll tell you why it isn't just, you know, having the opportunity, fortunately, which I've had so many times, and that's my good fortune of having a wonderful part. It was because I worked with Fonda and Cagney and Bill Powell, and the three of them, and it's like 20 years or something, and they're still very, very close to me.
This picture you made with Walter, directed by your good friend, our good friend, Billy Wilder. This is about the fourth time you and Walter have been in a picture together?
Fifth.
Fourth.
I directed Walter once. Well, I tried to direct him once.
That's going to be difficult.
He did what he wanted to do, and it was his best performance. However...
I was going to say, that's going to be tough when you're good friends, and all of a sudden one actor is now directing another. That has to be a little dicey.
Yeah, in a way. Except you have a communication that's marvelous. And I kept trying to direct. I thought, well, the crew's around, you know, and I had the puttees.
And you wanted to look official.
I had the pith helmet. I had everything. I'd get a whip and everything, and I'd say, Walter, I have a marvelous idea. He said, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And he'd go do it. And I never got to give the piece of direction that I thought everybody would applaud, you see. I never directed him. It's like a Mack truck with no brakes coming down a hill. You don't get out. You don't say stop. You know, if you're smart, you get out of the way. I got out of his way.
That's because you read each other well. Let me take a break. We're going to be back. We got a film clip. We'll talk about some other things and so forth. Anything but snow in Boston. I keep trying to find out things about you because I've known you for a number of years. Somebody told me, one of our staff, true, you were almost or were born in an elevator, or was that one of those?
Yeah.
I thought it was just one.
I was.
Actually
going
born?
up, but no, I was born in an elevator, according to my mother.
Yeah, well, she would know.
And my father. Except they used to call my father Lilac Lemmon.
Lilac?
Yeah,
Lemmon?
because nobody could lilac lemon. But truthfully, he would tell these stories because he thought they might be amusing.
Now, did your dad tell you the story? Did your mother say that?
No, my mother. No, I think I was. And I got a letter from the Newton Wellesley Hospital. And incidentally, thank you for the T-shirt. I got a T-shirt. It's about this big, made out of Jackie Lemmon.
Oh.
It's a marvelous little thing, and it would fit a newborn baby and everything. But they confirmed it too. Yeah, I was born. It got stuck. And there I was. I remember it vividly.
Right, yes. What, you between floors? Or were you
Yeah.
I just thought maybe.
It did get stuck. But I still am. However.
What's the other now story I hear about one of your first things you did on stage? Was it a snoring routine?
Oh, yeah, I used to do that. Or whatever. I found when I was a kid, about, I don't know, 7, 8 years old, I wanted to be an actor because I'd started doing a couple of things in plays at school,
right.
you know, and it worked. I think kids, I don't think it's talent will out, if there is talent. I think it's a desire to be accepted.
Right.
Because I know everything, you know, I'm being an armchair analyst. But I really do. I think that if you stumble on something, yeah, you know, if you do something and other people say, hey, I liked that, right. Then you say, oh, so you keep doing it, whether it's wood carving or painting or writing poetry or
you probably also
or
found
whatever.
by doing sounds, which most kids start, you get attention,
Yeah.
you do sounds because you find out you can get a laugh very quickly. Like
Yes,
you did
with
the
sounds,
snoring
sure.
routine and you know, you become the life of it.
Yeah.
I used to do a thing in school that drove the teachers nuts. I want to see if I can still do it. Without even opening your mouth. Like a chicken. You'd very close and you go.
Where the hell do you do that? What?
That killed him in the third grade.
Killed him.
Killed him. Went nuts.
That's terrific.
And you could get attention. And you found out by doing that, you'd get attention. That was the whole thing. About the picture, the Buddy Buddy with Walter. Yeah. What's it about, basically? Because we got a little short film clip we
Basically,
want
it
to
is
show.
only and singularly about a TV network censor
Right.
who is suicidal because his wife has left him. Any other character is only incidental.
Right.
That's all it's about.
That's all it's about.
There's another guy in another room. He's a hitman, and he wants to shoot a guy who's going into a courthouse across the street, and he doesn't want any attention brought, naturally, up to the room because he's going to shoot with a high power. That's Matthews, whatever.
Mathau.
But it's incidental. But I'll tell you
In other words,
something.
it's really
in
about...
supporting part, he's not bad.
Yeah. In other words, he comes in a couple of little scenes.
I can spot it. I can spot talent when I see it. The guy should take up the acting Dutch.
Yeah.
There's no question.
He's got a
could
shot
make
at it. He was effective then.
Yeah. He was all right. He's all right. What's left of him in the film. It's not bad. It's not.
What's the,
slows it down a little.
I can understand that, yeah.
You know.
Now, in the scene we're going to see, is he in here at all, or...
I don't know what you're going to say.
What do we got
No,
here?
I think the scene, Freddie, am I right? It's, yeah.
Handkerchief scene?
Walter has finally gotten so upset because time is getting close. At 2:22, a fella's going to come across the street under armed guard and get out, and Walter's got to go across out the window and everything. And I keep running in from the next room with all different ways to commit suicide, one after another. And he keeps putting his rifle away under the bed and all of that. And finally, he can't stand it anymore. He's got to shut me up. I believe that that's about what it is.
Here's a little excerpt from Buddy Buddy.
Now, what is it?
I had an idea.
Yes?
Why don't you call her?
Call who?
My wife. Tell her that I tried to kill myself. Here's the number.
I don't even know your wife.
Well, tell her you're a friend of mine.
I'm nobody's friend.
Tell her that my life is hanging by a thread and that I'm slipping fast, and then she'll have to come.
Look, I don't seem to be getting through to you. I'm a very busy man, so don't bug me, don't hassle me. Get off my back.
You mean you're not going to call?
No.
Okay, the deal is off.
What deal?
You don't call her, I'm going to do it again.
Oh, you
and
are?
again and again. I got razor blades. I got sleeping
You
pills.
got a handkerchief.
A handkerchief?
What are you going to do with that?
You got a handkerchief. Walter will come out. Talk to me. Anyway, Walter, what was the name?
Matthews.
Matthews will be out in just a moment to join us and tell you about his part in the picture. Because he talks like this most of the time.
That he does.
We'll be back. All right, here is the co-conspirator in this picture. I think between both of us, we've given him really enough of an introduction. Yeah.
Hi there.
Hello, Jack. And Walter will be out a little later, but first, why not? Here's Jack Lemmon.
How are you?
I understand you were out with our producer last night, or amongst him with Mr.
And
DeCordova?
he said that I had to wear the same suit, and I had the thing pressed this morning. Oh, Lord. I just got back from New York, and I got pneumonia. Yeah.
And you couldn't resist. And you'd go over, and they'd have to come and pull you off of this thing. Where's home for you originally? I forgot.
Originally, Boston.
Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, did they have snow. Somebody told me it is really...
It's very cool.
You don't put your tongue on the pump handle back there.
No, you don't. Where is it? Put it...
Do you ever remember when you were a kid, and you'd go out, and your mother would say, and you'd see something, to never put your tongue on anything metal?